Victory Through Sacrifice. Celebrating the 100th anniversary of the armistice, more than 1.2 million British and Commonwealth Armed Forces personnel lost their lives. One of the most solemn reminders of the role Trinidad and Tobago played in the horrors of the two world wars is the Cenotaph at Memorial Park. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the start of the Great War in Europe, which grew to engulf the British Empire as well. As a loyal colony, Trinidad and Tobago saw as many of its young men enlisting in various corps to fight for their monarch. They came from all backgrounds, ranging from poor black men merely looking for an opportunity to the sons of rich planters who felt that they would return covered in glory. A large number left their bones in lonely war graves in Europe. Given the terrible casualties that were reported, in all over 200 men from Trinidad and Tobago lost their lives. A public meeting chaired by the then Mayor of Port of Spain, Dr. Enrique Prada, was held at the Prince's Building on the 4th of August 1916 to discuss a permanent memorial to the deceased. This consultation was attended by the Governor, Sir John Chancellor, and though the idea was approved, it was decided to wait until the war ended to implement this. It was not until 1918 that the project was revived, and at a public conference in 1919, the suggestion was made that the monument should be erected in Marine Square, Independence Square, in the area now occupied by the Cipriani statue. Strenuous objection to this site led to another location being earmarked, this being the Little Savannah, which was then an open pasture opposite the Royal Victoria Institute, known as the National Museum today. Sir John Chancellor's successor, a governor, Sir Samuel Wilson, approved the transfer of the Little Savannah to the Port of Spain City Council to initiate it. The foundation stone of the Cenotaph was laid on the 1st of May 1924 by Sir Samuel Wilson, with a time capsule containing the history of the project as well as newspaper clippings and coins being inserted. The monument was described in the Port of Spain Gazette as followed. Made of Portland stone and bronze, with a set of 4 granite steps around the base, constructed on a solid circular concrete foundation about 18 feet across. Standing squarely on the granite steps is the massive base of the column, led into which are the bronze panels engraved with the names of the fallen, some 168 in number. Rising immediately above this are 3 emblematic groups of statuary, one in the front and on either side. The front represents courage, the figure of a soldier armed with a rifle standing guard over and defending a dying comrade who lies on the ground at his feet. The side groups are the prows of the ships, emblematic of the part taken in the war by the Royal Navy and the Mercantile Marine. And on each is seated a female figure. The one on the south is a pensive attitude reading the scroll of fame. The other on the north, a Red Cross nurse bearing a laurel wreath emblematic of the tender care of the sick and the fallen. To the rear of the base is a group of trophies massed together and surmounted by arms of the colony and the royal crown supported by the flags of the empire with a trident in the rear. Rising clear out of its base is the beautiful tall column of pure white Portland stone, to a height of nearly 42 feet, surmounted by a carved stone frieze with lion's head at the 4 corners. The whole pole is surmounted by a winged figure of victory, cast in bronze, standing on a globe commemorative of the worldwide conflict and bearing in one outstretched arm the wreath of sacrifice and in the other the victor's palm. At the end of World War II, 180 more names were added to the memorial in honor of those soldiers who lost their lives during the conflict. Since then, there have been no structural changes to this monument, which serves to remind us all that these men and women made the ultimate sacrifice for God, King, and the country.